Yo, what is up, guys? It's Pedro here, and the Washington football team falls to 2-6 after losing to the Broncos 17-10. They absolutely should have won this game. They had multiple opportunities, and like I said, they fall to 2-6. So we'll talk about all that in today's video and who I think is to blame for this loss. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content. Hit that like button and turn on those notifications, and make sure you guys check out WinView. Let's get right into the video. Man, where do I even start? Just a terrible loss by the Washington football team. They definitely should have won this game. I mean, the Broncos, right after they stop us on like a 4th and 16 or 4th and 19 with, terrible execution on the Hail Mary by Washington. And, the Broncos pretty much have the game in the bag. Maybe at best, I'm hoping that we get the ball back with like 5 or 10 seconds. But, they fumble the first time, and then the second time, they throw an incompletion, and then on third down, they fumble it. We get the ball back, but we still can't win. I mean, let's talk about who I think is to blame for this loss. I think overall the defense played pretty well. I don't think they're to blame. 17 points. You should be able to score more than 17 points. And the Broncos got the ball a couple times in pretty good field position. And Washington forced a turnover at the end of the game. So defense played fine. Not amazing. They allowed some big drives, but for the most part, they were solid in today's game. The offense, though, scoring 10 points, just inexcusable. I mean, you can't do that and win games in this league. And even though they moved the ball down the field, I mean, it just wasn't pretty. Heinicke, man, he is super frustrating, and sometimes it's really fun to watch. And of course, this game is not all on him. He got sacked 5 times, and the offensive line was not good, and understandably so. I mean, they're missing their starting right tackle, their backup tackle, their starting center, and they, Eric Flowers was out and Brandon Sheriff was out. But you have to understand your personnel and know when to, he needs to know to throw it away a little bit earlier. And there was also times where he just stepped in right into the sack. I mean, we had a chance. It was, if he throws it away, it's 4th and 6. It's 4th and 6, and you have a chance to score. Instead, it's 4th and 8, 19, or whatever it was, and you have no chance to score. He has to understand these situations sometimes. And also, his arm strength, his lack of arm strength is evident. I mean, you saw right after the Broncos fumbled it, we got the ball back. I mean, DeAndre Carter was open. It should have been completed, but the velocity on that ball, the speed of the ball was just so slow that, it was almost picked off. But it really should have been completed, and I mean, you can just see that he is limited. I mean, he played okay at some points, 25 for 39, 272. That first touchdown, or that touchdown to DeAndre Carter, was a beautiful throw, a really well thrown ball. And the first interception wasn't his fault at the end of the half, Hail Mary, but I did not like what I saw from Heinicke, especially down the stretch. There were some good parts, like I said, but he has to understand to throw it away a little bit quicker. Even though, man, Sadiq Charles is just getting beat the whole game. I assume, either Sam Cosmi or Cornelius Lucas will be back next week, but that experiment at tackle is over. If he does have a future in this league, it's at guard, because that was ugly. I mean, I think he allowed 3 sacks in that game and had a false start. Did not look good today. And yeah, he was not, Sadiq Charles was not good. And Chris Blewitt really was a big reason why we lost this game. And some people might say, oh, he missed 2 field goals and we lost by 7. Well, the thing is, he missed 2 field goals. So let's say he makes those field goals, it's 17-16, and Washington was in the red zone twice after that. Once right before, when they had to throw that Hail Mary, and then after the Broncos fumbled the ball. They had it 2 times, and they could have kicked it one of those times. If it was a 1-point game, they would have done that. And Chris Blewitt, I mean, here's the thing. I think a lot of Washington fans wanted Dustin Hopkins cut, me included, but we did not want them to go ahead and sign someone like Chris Blewitt, who hasn't kicked since 2016. We did not want that. We want, and there weren't great options, but Josh Lambo, former All-Pro kicker, was struggling a little bit this year, but there were options out there. There were definitely options, and Chris Blewitt just wasn't a great option, and he better get cut. They have 2 weeks to find a kicker because, we have the bye week. They have 2 weeks to find a kicker. I mean, how do you have 3 out of your 5 kicks in the NFL blocked? I've never seen something like that. He's not an NFL kicker. If you can't kick it over defensive linemen, you're just not an NFL kicker. Get him out of here. He should not even get on the flight back. Just embarrassing. That is embarrassing that you just... it's so frustrating because they should have won this game. So many missed opportunities. The 4th and 1 in the first half, or maybe it was 4th and 2, the first possession of the game. I liked what they, I liked the call to go for it, but the play calling by Scott Turner there, I didn't really like it. And, the play call itself wasn't terrible because, the receiver, the tight end, Ricky Seals-Jones, was open, but Heineke waited like half a second too late. If he throws it to him early and on target, there's a chance Ricky Seals-Jones gets it, but he doesn't. And, it's incomplete. I would have rather run there, but, it is what it is. They could have also gotten a field goal, but I was fine with them going for it there because, it was 4th and 1, 4th and 2. They should have gotten it, and yeah, I mean, unfortunate they didn't get it there. Just the offense, very lackluster today. 272 yards, passing and 112 yards rushing. I mean, it was interesting to see, Gibson only get 8 carries this game with, Jarrett Patterson getting 11. I thought, honestly, all the running backs played pretty well. I mean, Antonio Gibson and Jarrett Patterson had, 80 yards rushing, and then McKissick also had 10 yards rushing as well. And then McKissick, great job in the receiving game, 83 yards. I thought they should have given the ball more. I mean, he got targeted 8 times, caught it 8 times. I think he should have gotten the ball more. McLaurin, I mean, got to find more ways to get him the ball. I mean, another thing with Heineke, he just can't throw screen passes. I mean, there was one catch where Ricky Seals-Jones has a negative 2 yard. He has a loss of 2 on a play, and it's because the ball is it's not a well-thrown ball, and also the blocking was not good on that play. And Heineke just can't throw the screens. I mean, there was one play where it was like 2nd and 6, and McLaurin's open. Heineke just throws it way behind him. It's almost a pick 6. And that was just not a good play. He's got to get in general. Our offense cannot execute screens very well. Some of that's on the offensive line, and some of that is on a lot of that is on the quarterback. McKissick was great. DeAndre Carter was great in this game. Adam Humphries was good. I think they should try to get him involved a little bit more. I mean, offense though in general, pretty disappointing. Offensive line was terrible, and it's understandable. They're missing their whole starting offensive line. Besides, the only starter was Charles Leno at the end of the game, which is insane to me. But Heineke's got to be better. I mean, I don't know if a quarterback change is coming. I don't think it'll make a huge difference, but no doubt I want Fitzpatrick back. Once Fitzpatrick is back, I want him to be the starter. There's no reason Heineke should be the starter over him when he comes back. Now let's get on to the defense. Defense, played solid today. Let's see, they got 4 sacks today. The defense was solid. I mean, Landon Collins got a sack, Daron Payne got a sack, Jonathan Allen got a sack, and James Smith-Williams had a sack. And Landon Collins had an amazing game. He was really good today. 8 tackles, 1 sack, 2 tackles for a loss, a QB hit. He was solid in coverage as well. I mean, great. He's been really good as a linebacker for us. The last 2 games where, since Ron Rivera said we're moving him to linebacker, he's played really well. And I like to see that. And yeah, great to see that right there. Cole Holcomb was okay. He did get, Javonte Williams just trucked him on one of those plays. Cameron Curl was good. Benjamin St. Juste wasn't very good in coverage today, but he had some really good tackles. Chase Young, man, I know he had the forced fumble, which is a huge play. Could have won us the game there, but he's got to be better as a pass rusher. I mean, he was non-existent today. And I mean, it's been, the last couple games before this, he was playing a little bit better, but he today really couldn't tell he was playing besides that last play on defense where he forced the fumble. Been really disappointing season by Chase Young. Probably the most disappointing season out of anyone on the team. Jonathan Allen continues to absolutely ball out. Got paid and played great today again. He's got 6 sacks, and we're 8 games through the season. So he's on pace for 12 and a half, 13 sacks because 17 games season. He played well today. Bobby McCain, man, dropping a pick that he's never going to get a pick that easy in his life, and he just dropped it. I mean, just terrible right there. James Smith-Williams had a good sack. Good for him. Jamin Davis was not good today. I'm not sure about in coverage because we don't, you can't really tell that from the TV copy unless he gets absolutely burned. But, missed a few tackles, and he got that 15-yard penalty. You can't do that. I don't think he had a good game at all. And yeah, that's really it for the defense. Defense did their job. I mean, you expect to score more than 17 points. And yeah, they did their job. They forced a turnover, 4 sacks, and allowed 17 points. I mean, let's see. They allowed 213 passing yards and 83 rushing yards. I mean, that's pretty good in my opinion. And yeah, we should have won this game. Chris Blewitt. I'm not gonna say he blew it because I've heard it enough, but he really screwed us there with those missed kicks and the offense. I mean, Scott Turner did not really have a great game. He was creative at times, giving McLaurin the ball and a couple other plays, but there's times where he just has some really questionable play calling. He's got to be better. Heineke has to be a lot better. This offense as a whole has to be better. So 17-10, we fall to 2-6. The season is pretty much over. I mean, you lose the Broncos, and I mean, yeah, season's over, and yeah, that's all I've got to say. I'm really frustrated because we definitely should have won this game. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and turn on those notifications so you never miss a video, and check out WinView. Peace.